Hello, I'm recording a short video today just because my normal way to do this is to sit here and do a Facebook video, but Facebook isn't cooperating with me because Cable One is such a piss poor service. So I'm uploading a YouTube video to share some of these non-show thoughts, but this gives me an opportunity, perhaps in a more relaxed setting, to share some ideas with you versus some of the constraints I have over the air because of broadcast regulations. I was referencing the riots at the University of California at Berkeley, which, as it turns out, ended up being very violent. And I don't know how it helps the left's cause in any way to have pictures of flames and people smashing windows. How in any way they convince the rest of America that they're righteous in what they're doing. I'm reminded of the anti war demonstrations of the 1960s and then into 1970, which came to a halting end when somebody actually opened fire, a National Guardsman, we still don't know why, on demonstrators at Kent State. The demonstrators had burned an ROTC building and had been throwing rocks and doing all sorts of nasty things. And finally, it was children, this is enough. And what'll happen is these protests by the American left will continue and get more and more violent. But then someone's going to put them down, and they're going to put them down harshly. And when that happens, media will do much like it did at Kent State. It'll scream and whine and talk about how heavy handed the government is just because people are out looting, burning, smashing things. And we should allow them to do that, right? That was the argument of Stephanie Rawlings Blake, the one time mayor of Baltimore, Maryland, whose political career came to an end after making that rather stupid observation. So we'll have that happen, but just like at Kent State, the media claimed that Americans were enraged by the actions of the National Guard. It actually, if you recall, if you know the polling history of all of this, 9 out of 10 Americans approved of what the Guard did and finally said enough is enough. And the movement ended because the children finally realized it wasn't playtime any longer, that this was serious business. And I think that's what you're going to see happen here in this situation is these lefties escalate with what they're doing. You're going to see some serious trouble. Now, I heard this morning the woman who is actually in charge of the University of California, Berkeley police, they have their own police force. She said these weren't our students, these were outside agitators. You've heard that one before. One man, though, I did see in the video who was smashing a window had a gray beard. Now, he's either one of these rejects that's still living around campus after he flunked out or never finished 40 years ago, and he feels that he has a need to be out there engaging in anarchy. But I have a sneaky suspicion that a lot of these were students, leftist students, and they're not getting what they want, and they feel it's okay to go out and silence someone else who was an invited guest to the campus to actually give a speech. And that was Milo Yiannopoulos, the Brit who is here working for Breitbart and was going to be giving a presentation from a rather right-wing view. You may not like it, but why do you silence it? Because you're going to end up being the one silenced. And if you're complaining about Donald Trump, if you're looking to give Mr. Trump more ammunition that you're completely out of control, you're doing a very, very good job of it. Let's be honest about that. So I wanted to make a couple of points about that this morning before we actually got started with the radio show. Do hope you can stick around. We've got a lot to talk about. Coming up at 8 o'clock this morning, those of you who'll be seeing this after the show, just a reminder, we're on Monday through Friday from 8 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock in the morning Mountain Time at News Radio 1310 KLIX at newsradio1310.com.